Hello, everyone, and good morning. Thank you so much for tuning into the show. And I'm here to tell you that if you enjoy the show in any capacity at all, maybe I'm funny, maybe I have good guests, maybe, I don't know, sometimes I'm interesting, whatever. If there's anything that you like about this show, please hit that follow button, that subscribe button, wherever you're listening. If you're on YouTube, make sure you like the videos, you subscribe to the channel, you comment, and you share. I am tired of working menial jobs and would love to speed up the process of making some money on this goddamn thing. So please, like, comment, subscribe, share, tell everyone about us wherever you listen to the show. Follow it. Makes a huge difference. Thank you guys. Enjoy the episode. Hello, everybody. Good morning. Thank you so much for tuning in. November 1st, bitches. Wow. 2 months left, baby. 2 months left in this year. We're going to be in a new land of twos. We're going to have 3 twos. And that's got to be the first time, right? 3 twos in our year. Except for 12/22. That's been the last time. That's a long goddamn time, brother. Holy shit, 1,000 years. And look where we are now. Look at all the cool shit we have. I got this picture machine. I got this voice box. And you guys can hear me talk about nonsense. I hope you guys had a great Halloween. It's getting spooky around here, you know what I'm saying? It's Halloween today for me, but for you guys, it is post-Halloween. I always liked Halloween. I had an idea this year because last year I did kind of, I guess, was it a Halloween thing? I don't know, but we talked about Halloween. I think it was me and Johnny Mann. And I was planning on putting an episode together this year that was going to air on Halloween. But we were going to record it Saturday night. And it would have, become Halloween on the show. Like right into midnight. We were going to do a whole bunch of cool shit. Wear costumes, candlelight, the whole 9, motherfuckers. But shit didn't work out the way I had planned. But I've always liked Halloween. Last week, me and Caroline and I went to go watch a movie in the movie theater, which was fucking dope. Haven't done that in a long time. It was expensive. Goddamn, 2 people, $42. God forbid you want to bring your family. You know what I'm saying? Oh, man. $40 for tickets and popcorn and drinks. Like, holy dog shit. And anytime I get popcorn in the theater, I immediately regret it because I just house it mad quick. I'll house half the bag just sitting there waiting for the thing to start. And then the previews and the whole 9, I'll just popcorn. And I got felt like I've been swimming all day in the sea. My mouth, salt and yeah, it's brutal. And then they gave me a drink. It was monstrous. Guys, I mean, I haven't been to the movie theater in a long time, but this was huge. This was it was like the size of this fucking thing around. And like it was probably this, like, I don't know, there's no real frame of reference in here. But regardless, it was pretty fucking big. It was like a foot tall, and it was round as a bitch. And it was a lot, but it's right next to you, and you're watching a movie, so you just house all that shit. We brought, snacks in the theater, way too much. But we watched, what was it? Halloween Kills. And I know last week I talked about how the gay couple and whatever else. That's actually before I watched the movie. And what's crazy is the gay couple in the movie plays a pretty big part. Like, they live in Michael's house. You know what I'm saying? They live in his house. The old house, the original house from the fucking, the first movie where he lived. And he used to stare out the window and whatever, or stare out his sister's window. But, yeah, they play a huge part in the movie. That's like a significant scene or a significant couple characters, you know what I'm saying? And then to be upset they get murdered by Michael in his house. I mean, what? It's mayhem. I'm not going to go off on that tangent again. You heard me say it last week. We're not going bananas again. But anyway, I think I wanted to mention something about last week's episode because after I did it and I put it up, I was like, damn, I kind of went in my mind, I felt like I went a little off the rails. You know, I didn't hold back, but like I said, it's all in good fun. This is a podcast. Nobody's listening. And if I'm not on here to say what the fuck I want to say, then what the fuck am I on here for? You know what I'm saying? That's you know, the whole creative artist thing, right? That it's your thing. It's your creation. You should be able to mangle it however way you'd like. And if that means going on a crazy tirade for a half hour or however long I did last week, then God damn it, I'm going to do it every once in a while. But anyway, Halloween season is over, right? More or less. We're pretty much done with that. Now we're on to the next big holiday of Thanksgiving, Gluttony Day. 2 days back to back where you just engage in being the biggest glutton in the world. Like, it's really a season of gluttony, right? It starts with Halloween where everybody eats a lot of candy, right? And then we wait a month for Thanksgiving where we all get together and we basically just eat. That's basically the holiday now, right? Because there's no pilgrims and Indians. We know that's bullshit, right? We know that that's like some story. I'm sure that they had big feasts when they first came and you know, whatever else. But we know that it's all just a fake story, right? Thanksgiving is just a symbol now, is just a symbol of consumption, right? Because if it wasn't, then they wouldn't piggyback it on, or they wouldn't piggyback a day after where everybody spends a whole lot of money. And then a few days after that on Cyber Monday, which is a new one, right? It's much more modern and new age, where people spend a whole lot of money. So it's really just, you know, a glorified spending fest between having people at your house or going to somebody else's house for the actual Thanksgiving holiday, right? If you're having people at your house, you're spending a lot of money on everything, right? And but it's important because it's the holiday. You want people to have a good time. If you're hosting it, they might be bringing stuff, but you got to make the bulk of shit. You know what I'm saying? You got to make sure there's booze. You got to make sure there's plenty of food, all different courses and treats, and all this stuff has to be done. And you got to watch football, right? Football has got to be on the television. You think the Pilgrims, when they sat with the Indians, were like, can we get the Bears game on, please? Is there any game that we could play all together where we all end up, you know, drinking our food after 30 years of doing it? You know, like something that we could start our children on and then maybe, you know, let them rise through the ranks and hopefully put our family in a phenomenal financial position, but a terrible emotional one. But nonetheless, that's most of the tradition now, right? You get all together with your family. That's pretty much what it is. What it's always been, I guess. But before the era of worrying, I guess you could call it, or before the era of enlightenment is another good way to put it. Because I don't want it to be like a negative connotation, because it is good that we know that we've kind of that children now have shattered the idea of Christopher Columbus being a hero and you know, the white people from Europe coming here and befriending the Indians. I'm happy that that's not, that people are learning that more and people are more willing to accept that fact. But before that, right, maybe when I was a child and even longer before that, you know, that was still kind of in the back of everyone's mind. This is an American tradition, right? We came together. We had a big feast and we had people from a faraway land come across to here and meet a completely different culture of people, and they all sat down and were able to coincide and coexist. And it was done around a bountiful feast of delicious, various foods prepared in different ways, based on different cultures, and people were able to come together and have a good time. That ideal, I feel, has been pretty much removed, right? It's been more or less destroyed in modern day. unless you have like an old world family or a family that, doesn't have an angsty kid in it that is like, this is bullshit, the Indians, and they, if you don't have a woke family member, then it's like, all right, it's still that. But there has definitely been an increase in woke family members and woke people as of now. So Thanksgiving, like I said, has gone from being kind of a definitely a gluttonous holiday all the way through, but at least it had a happier undertone, a more positive undertone. Now it is literally just a hollow, a shell of itself, if we're being honest. Right now, it's just the eating part. It's literally just the getting together and eating part, and the kids don't even come by with the handprint turkeys anymore. It's more like pamphlets on how you can donate to indigenous culture, foundations and funds, and it's more, it's like news story. They come to the table with news stories. Daddy, look at this, and it's something about a group of rich white people protesting the horrors that indigenous people had to face for years and years, and there's still that's what it is now, right? I remember when I would come by with a I'd come to Thanksgiving wearing like a bandana that I made. Not a bandana, but like a band around your head, and you put feathers on it, right? As a kid, it's not, or maybe we made something, right? Or I went to a Catholic school, right? I don't know if Catholic schools even exist anymore, but I went to a Catholic school, and they would give us some bread, and it was wrapped up, and it had a prayer, and we all broke bread at the table and literally did it, and it was a nice little thing, right, for the kid. That's not anymore, right? They don't do that much anymore. Maybe they do. I don't know too many children, but I would think they're coming home with, depends the region, right? Depends the region where you're coming from. If you're somewhere down south, maybe you come home with a rifle locked and loaded, right? Ready to kill as a child on Thanksgiving, Maybe that's kind of what it is. But nonetheless, the day afterwards is like ideal, right? That's like the perfect, whoever came up with Black Friday is an absolute marketing genius. Whatever person or marketing team or corporation implemented Black Friday first and deciding it to be after Thanksgiving is a fucking genius, because everybody's still on that high, right? You meet on Thanksgiving with your family, depending on how big your thing, right? Some people have huge events and it's all day long. They get at the house, it's like middle of the day. They switch whatever on to football, and there's music playing, and it's a big thing, and people are eating and drinking and eating and drinking and eating and drinking all day, like literally all day. 12 to 12, stopping in between to go outside and play football and smoke weed with their cousins and just be drunk and having a great goddamn time. And people are on that high because also they probably took some time off, right? Maybe because Thanksgiving's always on a Thursday, they know they'll have Friday off, so they're like, fuck it, I'll take Wednesday off too. So now they have Wednesday all until Wednesday morning until Sunday night, and they're fucking in it, man. They're rolling in it. So they're on that high still, right? All day eating and drinking. Then they stay up until maybe they have coffee and whatever else, and they keep eating, and it's right until midnight, or actually right before midnight, where they all pack into the car and they all drive to the nearest shopping center, and everybody goes ahead and stands online in the cold, which I thought was cool as a child, right? When I was in high school and I'd spend all my money, I bought an Xbox and a TV, and I bought clothes and all different kinds of things. It was great. I had a great time out till, late, came home with bags of shit, whether it be for family members or for myself. And it was a fun time. But then you get older and it's like, ugh, who the fuck wants to do that? I might actually do it this year for my brother. His birthday usually falls around around, if not on Thanksgiving. So he wants to go shopping and shit. So we might do something like that. And I would do it for him, but people get like I remember hearing different, clusters of people like, "Oh, here comes the madness. Oh no. I hope you got your coffee. This is gonna be a big one tonight. I've been coming out to this Target for 13 years, and let me tell you, this line is probably top 5. This is a big deal. Get ready, because there's gonna be some elbows, shoving, and push. I might beat up an 85-year-old woman. If she grabs the third fucking pillow out of when they're buy 2 get 1 free, oh, she's done. She's done. Elbow to the back of the head. Out. She falls on her face, breaks her nose, and I'll stomp on the back of her head as I grab my 5th television from my 8th room that we don't use in the house. But people really get excited for that. People go ahead and they're ready to spend. They're ready to spend. They're ready to consume. Man, the deals, and I'm not lying. That was a little bit of an exaggeration, but I'm not lying about people getting hurt and beaten up and shit like that. Shit happens every year. In Walmart and Target and Best Buy, some guy gets stabbed up for a fucking surround sound system. This is how sick we are. This is how crazy we are as people, right? We're so consumed and so worried in this period of the year. These last 2-3 months of the year, we're so, we got to spend money. And I'm one of them, and I'm worried about it all the time. I start worrying about Christmas and Thanksgiving and all the shit that comes with it. Comes the end of the summer, September, you know what I'm saying? Mid-September, I'm like, here we go, and you plan for it, and it doesn't go according to plan because nothing ever does, and you go mad, you go crazy, and people get beaten and trampled and left for dead on a fucking linoleum floor in a Marshall's. That's what happens. People bleeding out of their mouths, getting slapped up. Hit with poles and shit. Doesn't matter the age, doesn't matter nothing. My mother went fucking Black Friday shopping pregnant one time. Crazy with my brother. You know what I'm saying? God bless. Everything went according to plan, but I'm sure there has been some expecting women that have caught some unlikely blows in the areas that they shouldn't have. You know what I'm saying? And it fucked their kid up or it fucked their pregnancy up because we don't care. We're dirty animals as humans, especially when it comes to getting things and buying things and making sure that what we got for the people around us is sufficient. It happens to me all the time. I don't want to get people the same shit because when I get the same shit, I'm upset. I'm like, oh, wow. You should see how many sweatshirts I have. I use them all, but Jesus Christ. Like, I have so many sweatshirts and pajama pants and all these things. It's the same stuff every year, and I don't want that for other people, so I try to get good gifts, And when you have Black Friday, again, a day right after people went mad, went bananas, they want to keep going. That's what it is. So it is crazy. It's a crazy 2 days, and then you have Cyber Monday, which, like I said, is a new age thing, and it is also very smart. Very smart by that person too, because now it's Sunday night, right? You're gonna stay. You got work till Monday, or you got work on Monday, but you know that deals are happening right at midnight and early in the morning. So you're gonna stay up. You're gonna ride it out, and again, you still want that high. You still want that high of gluttonism. And eating and drinking and buying and living in abundance. That's what you want. That's what they're playing on. That's what they're feeding off of, or else they wouldn't have these types of days so close in proximity. You know what I'm saying? But it, and then now Sunday night is arguably the lowest point in people's weeks because Monday they got to go back to work. So now we have an excuse to stay up Monday night, let alone the past 4 or 5 days, 3 or 4 days, whatever the fuck. Those were all excuses for each day. And then now it's like, all right, we're going to squeeze the last bit of juice out of them. Cyber Monday, bitch. Deals online all day. And then you're at work thinking about it. And it's really, and then it just becomes December. And now December is hectic until Christmas Eve and Christmas, if you let it be, right? Now, I'm kind of talking shit about this time of the year, right? I'm not a big holiday guy. I don't love the holidays. I have my reasons, but I don't love them, right? I don't even like my birthday. There's some holidays I do like. Halloween, 4th of July, that's pretty much it, right? Those are my 2 days that I will engage in the activities that go on and do it happily, However, this year I am going to try to be a little nicer on Christmas. Thanksgiving, I'm typically nice. I eat. I do the mindless thing. It's not I don't enjoy the holiday, more or less. It's food, you know what I'm saying? You can't go wrong with eating a lot of food. That's the whole thing. But I'm going to try to do a little better on Christmas and Christmas Eve. I don't like it, but I will do it. And I do like New Year's as well. So I like New Year's because if there wasn't a holiday, I think I would still engage in the whole like renewal thing. You know what I'm saying? If we weren't conditioned to already have a holiday, I'd be like, all right, it's a new year. Let's finish this one with a bang and go into the next one with some goals and some new, ideas and whatever the fuck else. The stuff that you do. Because my biggest gripe about holidays is the idea that I wouldn't do any of this other stuff, or that it takes a holiday for us to do this. Like we can't just have a big get together and give each other gifts. Like it has to be done on a holiday. I don't know. It's a weird thing in my mind. Y'all don't gotta understand me. I fucking understand me. God damn it. But in my mind, it just takes away from the, it takes away from the authenticity or the organic portion of it. If you do it every year, like if we could do every other year, I feel like it would mean more to me. Now it's like, wow, it's been 2 years since, celebrating a Christmas. You know what I'm saying? Like in my mind, that would make me like Christmas, But I'm talking shit about this period of the year, but it's an important one. These next 2 months are imperative to your development for next year, right? We have to think. We have to think into around this period of time, around this period of the year. We have to think in terms of what's going to happen next year, right? We got to put this, and I think it's a great way to balance the hectic part of it, of this period of time. All the stuff that I described, the money, the family gatherings, all this extra stuff, the gifts, all these things that we're so worried about. I think it's a great way to balance that with thinking about what you want to do for next year and planning out your goal list or planning out different marks that you want to make, different points, milestones. Jesus, can't think of anything today. Different milestones as you want to reach this year, And in my mind, I don't think it's too forward thinking. Like if it's June and you're like, what am I going to do next year? You're an idiot, You're planning too far ahead. But now I think these next 2 months, November, December, it's a good time to balance all the energy that we're focusing on other people and thinking about other people with thinking about ourselves and thinking about what we want to do next year for ourselves. Because a lot of people look at this time as draining, right? Oh, God, we have so much to worry about. Draining. We got holidays at the end of the year. I have 2 birthdays in November, right? My brother and my dad, so I got to prepare for those. We got the holidays. And that's really what happens, right? You run 1,000 miles a minute past these 2 months, right up until you get to December 31st. You have a big crazy going away party, and then boom, time for the slow burn again. I think the slow burn should exist throughout, because if you're burning slow, you're living in the moment, right? You're living in you're present. The more present you can be, the more time is on your side, I think. The more time exists for you, and not for all these other, constructs, I guess we can call them, in the form of holidays or stresses, added on stresses. Because we already have a problem living in the moment, right? There's only certain situations that we live in the moment, and they're not even like that all the time, right? Like, for example, you could be at work and it could be real busy and you're focusing real hard and you're really in the moment. It's like nothing else can, separate you. But the next time you're at work, you could be like, even if it's busy, you're just like kind of out of it. There's only certain times where every time you're in the moment, and it's usually really, really good things or really, really bad things, right? Love, happiness, laughter, right? You feel in the moment. And inadvertently, you don't have to try. And then on the flip side of that, a death of a loved one, pain, physical pain, emotional pain, these types of things. There's not many activities that force you to be in the moment. But then again, there's different degrees of focus, right? Because if you're focused, you're in the moment. But my point is, there's things that we do that detract us from being present. Regardless if your present is you're exhausted from work, and you're kind of foggy-headed, or your present is you got energy and you're running around. Whatever your present is, you got to try living in it. And it's hard when there's all these other things that force us out of it, And right around this time, there's a lot of that, When else does this happen? At the beginning of the year, the end of the year, and at the beginning of the year, right? Because at the beginning of the year, everyone wants to hit the ground running, right? Let's go, go, go. But I think a slow, calculated burn throughout the year is the best way to make it happen, right? If your ability is to go 240, 240 miles for the year, right? It makes more sense to do 2 miles a month than to do, 100 in the first 3 months, 100 in the last 3 months, and then 40 between the middle months. It should the two per month is the more sustainable way to make it happen. Now, if you get to a point where you can do, you want to raise that to 480 miles in the year. Now you can do 4 a month, and then you just, you know what I'm saying? You can build that up, and that takes a lot more time, but it's a lot more sustainable. And this is a problem I have, right? I'll have these weeks of periodic success and energy and feeling good and doing things that keep me in the moment and keep me fulfilled, and then I'll drop off, and I'll shit the bed for like a week or something, week and a half, and then I'll hop back on it. Whereas if I could find a happy balance, a happy medium amongst that, then it's a more sustainable thing, and it makes more sense in your mind, because now you have sustained time of rest as well as sustained time of work, rather than a burst of rest and a burst of work. Because, there's times where you need those, throughout life. There's times where there's different, you just need to work in that period of time, and you got to power through it, and you'll catch up on sleep at some point, or maybe you won't. It'll be a long time before you catch up on sleep, but there are these bursts. But for every burst, there's going to be a rest, right? It's like a sprinter versus a marathon runner, the classic, comparison when we look at life, right? It's a marathon, not a sprint. And that's true, right? And I'm seeing that's truer and truer every day. And it's just up to us to keep ourselves in line, keep ourselves in check, and take those incremental daily moves, take them, make them, take them, whatever the fuck. It's and it's super crucial to think about this in this point of the year, and to think about it in the coming part of the year, and the beginning of the next year, and also if you feel it anywhere else, if you're like, in the summer I go bananas, way more than I do, or like some people go by months. This month I went crazy. This month I'll slow down. Up and down, up and down, up and down. That's if your trend line over time is going up, then hey, fuck it. Don't listen to me. Keep doing your thing. Everybody operates differently. But, when it comes to trying to manifest things that don't necessarily exist yet, right? Trying to make money off your podcast, trying to get better at stand-up comedy, trying to make more money at your job, trying to get the promotion, trying to get that new car, go on that vacation next year. When you're trying to do that stuff, it's really an incremental thing. You're not going to burst. You can't bow, like you got to bow and go and raise that, amplify that movement, that linear, again, everybody operates differently, but in my mind, the less of this, the tighter you can get that grouping, hey, we can make it happen, people. So it is November 1st. It is the beginning of the end of the year, and it's going to come quick. Shit flies. These next 2 months fly. They fly. If we're being honest, the whole fourth quarter of the year flies, but these 2 months, you're going to blink and they're going to be fucking over. And if you don't take the time to prepare some shit for next year, it doesn't need to be a whole goal list, one idea. I want this for next year by some point. I want that. You know what I'm saying? Goals are important. They are important. They shouldn't, Let me try and word this differently, because I have recently come into a new philosophy regarding goals, right? Because there are times where we get wrapped up in the goal. This is something that I've spoken about before. This is something you're going to hear on Thursday's podcast with Dom. We get kind of wrapped up in the goals, and we can almost limit ourselves, right? Limit ourselves in time. If I don't have this done by this period in time, then I'm fucked. We can limit ourselves. Goals, in a sense, can be limiting beliefs, And you're going to think this is crazy coming from me, who preaches about goals and is going to make a goal list and the whole 9 yards. But there are times where just doing and letting whatever happen matters, right? So in this way, I feel like maybe making vague goals, right? So let me give you an example in my life. I'm doing the comedy thing, right? Right now, I don't really have a huge vision. I don't have the same vision for comedy as I do this podcast. Like in my mind, I want this podcast to be big. I want to have a cool studio. I want people to fucking listen and know about me, and I can have whoever the fuck I want on. That's the idea I have for this. For comedy, I want to be good. That's it. I just want to be good at comedy. And getting better at comedy means, you actually see your skills growing, and you get into shows, right? Right now I'm only doing open mics, but you get into shows. The more shows you do, the more, the better you're getting, supposedly, right? So I think the idea of a vague goal is good, depending on different, what's the word I'm looking for? Different disciplines, right? If we're talking about financial goals, it's like, okay, I want this much saved, or I want to make this much this year, or I want to get this percentage of a raise. It's a little more concrete. Whereas, maybe you have an artistic goal or a creative goal or, something, right? It could just be so simple as get better at it. Spend more time being creative. Doesn't need to be a specific, but because what'll happen is you'll reach different milestones, and they necessarily weren't written down and they weren't goals, conventional ones, but they happened, and they're inadvertently adding to your main goal. And that's that. That's my new kind of, because I listened to Valentina Shevchenko on Joe Rogan, and she's talking about, I don't really like goals. And I'm like, interesting. Because in my mind, it's always been the only way you get things done is through goals. You say, I'm going to do this, and then you make a plan, you carry it out, and boom. You try and make it happen. But it doesn't, she is an embodiment where it doesn't necessarily work that way. She just trained and worked hard and wanted to keep getting better and better, and it brought her to different places, and she became a champ, and now she's one of the greatest champs the UFC's ever seen, and in argument to be the greatest female fighter of all time. So sometimes you just do, motherfuckers. That's why it is most important to do. Just do. That's it. Just do. So, guys, take your time. These next couple months, take your time. Live, right? Live in the moment. Smell the flowers. Be it for what it is, goddammit. Thank you all so much for listening. Starting your week the right goddamn way. Make sure you follow me. All the links are in the description. Follow the show. Go to obsessiveaggression.com if you would like some gloves. That's it, guys. Talk to y'all on Thursday. Peace.